The Prime Minister has urged caution as England's lockdown starts to be lifted. Boris Johnson said he hoped this would be the last lockdown, but the public must continue to obey the rules and the vaccines need to remain effective. The stay-at-home rule has been lifted. The government says you should limit travel where possible, but you can now visit family and friends outside your local area as long as you stay outdoors and don't stay the night. So, after 3 months of lockdown, groups of 6 people or 2 households of whatever size are now able to meet in parks or private gardens. Outdoor sports facilities like tennis courts can open. Outdoor team sports can be played again. But holidays are still banned both in the UK and abroad. In 2 weeks' time, restrictions should be eased even more with non-essential shops reopening. For the other nations, some restrictions were eased in Wales on Saturday. In Northern Ireland, things begin to ease from Thursday and from Friday in Scotland. Here's our health editor, Hugh Pym.
New freedoms and all on a sunny day. No wonder these swimmers at a Lido in Norfolk were enjoying themselves with outdoor pools in England allowed to reopen.
Very nice.
It's lovely. It's amazing. It's a great feeling.
It's pretty great. It's cold.
Until today, weddings were only permitted in exceptional circumstances, but now ceremonies with up to 6 people are allowed. And in Coventry, Dwayne and Nyasha tied the knot after postponing in the winter.
Even like yesterday, it was like they could just ring, couldn't they, and go, actually,
yeah, not today.
Not today. So it's surreal, it's wonderful.
Today, the Prime Minister and his key advisers appeared at the new Downing Street media briefing room. Isn't there a danger of mixed messaging when you talk both about a roadmap to freedom and getting back towards normal life, but also the need to be cautious because of cases rising in some parts of Europe?
We're pleased to be able to have some measure of relaxation today. It is important, it is valuable. I know it will be prized by people, but also very important to stress that we are continuing to be cautious.
The main thing we're concerned about is the risk of importing into the UK variants which could have a reduced effectiveness of the vaccines we're currently using. Now, in the long term, there would be ways around that, but in the short term, that is the principal thing that's driving concerns about border issues at this stage.
Fresh air dilutes the virus particles and can blow them away.
A government advert reminds people that meeting outdoors is less risky than in their homes.
Hands, face, space and fresh air.
And Labour urged ministers not to drop their guard.
Good we've got to this stage of lifting some of the restrictions. We've got to be cautious about it. And I think the single biggest risk is, of course, what we're seeing happening in other countries where the numbers are still going up.
The number of daily reported cases was coming down, but it's been fairly stable for the last few weeks, between 5,000 and 6,000 on the 7-day rolling average. But the number of daily hospital admissions with COVID is falling steadily. It's down to around a few hundred a day. Health officials say fewer people are getting seriously ill with COVID, and the vaccine is having an impact. From ice hockey and rock concerts to community jabs, the SSE Arena in Belfast has opened as a mass vaccination centre. Ministers said it was a significant milestone. In Northern Ireland from Thursday, outdoor sports will resume and 6 people can meet in private gardens. Some beaches in Wales were busy over the weekend with travel restrictions lifted and youth sports and meetings of up to 6 people outside permitted. Scotland's stay-at-home message changes to stay local on Friday, each nation moving at its own pace out of lockdown. Hugh Pym, BBC News.
Outdoor pools, tennis courts, golf courses all reopened in England today. Organised team sports are back on again. Our sports editor Dan Roan has been talking to some of those who've wasted no time in getting started.
One, go! Good! An early start for this girls' rugby league team in Warrington. This morning's preschool session, the first chance they've had to enjoy full training together for more than a year.
Because we've been inside for so many months, we've not done anything. It's nice to get out and do stuff with your friends and like the school. And it's nice also, like do active stuff instead of sitting down on computers and stuff. So yeah, I like it.
How much have you missed it in the recent months?
It's been hard and you've missed it a lot. My last match was in March. It's important for mental health and keeping yourself fit and in the right headspace.
Coaching the girls today, former pupil here and now England international Jodie Cunningham, who also works on tackling the issue of depression in the sport.
Not having that interaction for such a long period of time really has affected young people, so the importance of getting this back today can't be underestimated, and I know it's that final light at the end of the tunnel to start getting back to normal for these young people.
And for some, there was no time to waste. On the stroke of midnight, a round of golf. Elsewhere, a moonlit cycle ride in Derbyshire. After months of lockdown, outdoor sport in England finally back. For indoor sport, however, the wait goes on, with gyms and swimming pools only reopening from mid-April, and then just for individual use or household groups.
We can't lose sight of the fact we only have around 110 publicly accessible outdoor pools in this country, and there's a massive north-south divide. There's still a long way to go before we can get everybody back swimming.
Here at junior clubs like this one in Didsbury in Manchester, the hope will be that the sheer joy of being back playing again leads to a newfound appreciation of the importance of sport at a time when activity levels have slumped. And today the government urged youngsters like this to do the recommended 60 minutes of exercise each and every day.
Time to tighten the laces.
Today this video was released in a bid to inspire the nation to get moving, but some believe much more needs to be done, starting at schools.
I got into rugby because of a PE teacher, and we need to make sure that the teachers themselves, are at the right level to be able to teach PE. But for me, it needs to be a core subject. It should be up there with maths and English, because the health and well-being of children is massively important to this country.
With minimal risk of transmission outdoors, the suspension of such activity has been among the most contentious elements of lockdown. But amid concern over the health of the nation, things are at least now moving in the right direction. Dan Roan, BBC News.